Hello everybody, welcome to this unboxing of the Creality CR20. In this video we will go through assembly, setup, calibration and bed leveling process. These are all necessary steps for you to get familiar with your 3D printer. Our plan is to turn this into this. Let's get started. First I want to screw the bottom of the printer with 4 screws that come with the printer to the frame and gantry of the printer. Just take caution with the frame when turning on its side. I found it easier to put the foam on the bottom to mount the frame. Once the frame is connected to the bottom, the next step is to assemble the spool holder to the top of the frame. This isn't necessary to do right away, you could do this last, it's your preference, but here I've sped up this process which is quite straightforward. Next step after the printer has been assembled is to connect the wires to each stepper motor for each XYZ axis. This is the same process for almost any printer. This is explained very well in the instruction manual, so I won't bore you with all the connections in this section of this video. After we have connected the wires, we're going to plug in the printer and turn it on. Here I'm scanning through the menu to see what's there and get familiar with it. Again, a lot of what you see here is the same as any printer, just the layout sometimes may be different. But all these features are common, like preheating PLA or preheating the bed or starting a print. Next is a look at the display menu and some of what you see on screen you may be familiar with. Nozzle temperature, bed temperature indicated at the top, your XYZ coordinates which are outlined in the middle of the screen, feed rate 100% which is represented by the F4 100% you see there, progress bar for when your prints are on. Nothing overcomplicated in this section. After we have got familiar with the menu, we want to go to prepare and hit bed leveling, which will take 9 measurements across the bed and the end point of the nozzle will be in the middle of the bed. Once the bed leveling is done, you can manually level the bed by going to move on the menu and move Z. You can use a standard piece of paper for this. Here we're looking for a slight bit of friction between the nozzle and bed. At first the paper won't move, this means the nozzle is too close. What we are looking for is the paper to be able to move freely with a slight bit of friction. The next step is to insert the filament into the driver at the back as you can see here. We will push the filament in all the way to the point where it can't be pushed anymore. At that point the filament has reached the top of the nozzle. The next step is to heat up the nozzle to roughly 185 degrees so we can extrude the filament through the nozzle. Here we just want to make sure the filament is coming out nice and straight. That tells us that there is no blockage in the nozzle. If it comes out really slow or curling at the top, there may be debris still in the nozzle. Using a small needle helps to clean this. This is always good practice to check when you finish a long print. Next step is to start a print. Here there is already a preloaded file on the SD card and we just hit print. Keep an eye on the first layer. If the first layer looks very transparent, it means it's too close. The image I have attached helps you to visualize this part of the process. Thank you for watching this video. Happy printing everyone.